Hi, Dr. Rose here, and this is the first time I'm doing this. We're going to read some cards this morning, and I've got a couple of questions people have submitted. I'm also inviting anyone who hops on here live to submit some questions. I'm going to read for about 15 minutes, and I will be on later for my Facebook Live challenge, but right now we're just doing a little bit of mini tarot readings for free for anyone who pops in. Now, I have a question that was submitted by Nicole. I don't see Nicole here yet, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. She was the first one, and I did say the early birds would get the they'd get at the front of the line. A couple people are here. If you're here, please say hello, and if you have a question, post it on the comments. If you already gave me your question earlier, just let me know that. But it's great to see who's in the room. Susie's here. Hi, nice to see you. And there's an 18-second lag, so for those of you who don't know, good morning. It does take a little time to see it. Susie, if you've got a question, please do post it, and otherwise I'm going to get started. I've got a couple that were submitted earlier, and I will read, like I said, for about 15 minutes. So we've got Nicole. Her question is, where is all my self-care and pleasure homework taking me? We've been working on that, especially in regards to this new idea that popped up thanks to your art journal challenge. She's doing the art journal challenge, and she's in my magical art journaling group. Dawn, yes, I have your question. We'll get to yours next. Hey, John, good to see you. If you've got a question, please post it. And right now, I'm shuffling the cards a little bit. I'm going to pull for Nicole. We already just read her question. It is about her new idea, her new business idea. She didn't say it's a business idea. I think it might be. But it's certainly an idea related to her money. She's been doing a lot of self-care and pleasure homework. And let's see what we get. Oh, Nicole, first card, Three of Cups. Since I got this deck, this has been a really popular card that's been coming up. And here we see these beautiful women cups are always about emotion. There's food on the table. It's like they're having a party. They've got flowers in their hair. It's sort of springtime. I'm going to bring that up a little so you can see the colors in there. They're just beautiful blossoms, but also they look differently seasoned, like spring and summer and fall. So not winter, not sleeping. They're grape leaves behind them. The glasses evoke the sense of goblets like wine. Hey, Diane, glad you're here. And Dawn, hi, good, cool. Again, if you guys have questions, post them. I'm going to read for about 15 minutes. This is Nicole's reading. In answer to her question, where is my self-care and pleasure homework taking me, especially in regard to the new idea that just popped up thanks to your art journaling challenge. She's been working on that with me. So I would say, Nicole, keep going. Continue to do the things that feel good. Celebrate, connect with the other women in your life, the sisters that are around you. If you are thinking of offering some kind of program, if that's the idea that came to you, it's a group program. See, bring the ladies together. And if that doesn't speak to you, at least have your ladies behind the scene. At least build your team. Connect with your women friends, connect with the women who are in your life, and also speak to the women that you have not met yet who are out there. It's going to be good stuff. It's going to be wonderfully celebratory and festive, and it's going to feel really good. So keep going. Fantastic. And then we have Dawn. Dawn's question, what about this man I've been seeing who is currently in New Jersey? I see that Nicole is here. Nicole, I just did your reading, so you'll have to go back and watch the replay. Diane, I see you say, love art journaling. Thank you so much for doing it. Yes, Magical Art Journaling is a group we're doing on Facebook. Just getting into Dawn's question, and Susie asked, would it be worth it to get visible again for doing tarot psychic readings again? I will get to that question next. Fantastic question. Thank you, Susie. Anyone else who has a question, please post it. We will not get to everything if there are too many, but we've got 10 more minutes, so we're pretty good. Dawn says, what about this man I've been seeing who's currently in New Jersey? Should I continue dating? All right, so Dawn, we're gonna just shuffle the cards up a little bit more. I'm gonna have to get a holder for my phone. I'm holding it with one hand and shuffling cards with the other. But one thing I've learned is to stop trying to be perfect before doing anything and just do it. Perfect is the enemy of done, I have heard. All right, card for Dawn. Oh, by the way, so there's two Dawns on here. And the second Dawn has a question too. We'll get to you after Susie's question. So the Dawn who has about the man in New Jersey is too early to tell. We got a Page of Rods. It's the beginning. He's just starting to think about whether or not he wants to get more serious. So don't give up on him yet. I know that's a really short answer. I'm gonna pick one more card for you that say, what can you do in the meantime to kind of, it's hard to date somebody long distance. So how can you support yourself as you continue to date and not either get too attached or anxiety in the meantime or any of that stuff that would come up. Oh, so for you, Queen of Pentacles, remember to stay in your power, Dawn. To remember to take good care of yourself. Remember that you don't actually need him. You have been taking care of yourself. You can continue to take care of yourself, and that's not what he's for. He's for taking your life to the next level. And it's not about need. It's about desire. It's about enjoyment. It's about companionship. Your material needs, you've got that covered. So you don't actually need him. I see the hearts are coming up. You don't actually need him personally in your world. So there's no need to panic or rush it or get attached or have anxiety or anything. And you may feel those things, but when you do, just sink yourself back into the life that you've already created for yourself. Get grounded and relate to him from that place. Okay, so then to Susie's question, and again, if anyone else has just jumped on, we might have time for a couple more questions. So post them in the comments if you have questions you'd like me to answer. We have a little less than 10 minutes now. Let's see. Susie's question is, would it be worth it to get visible again for doing tarot and psychic readings again? Well, oh, wonderful. Dawn says, thank you. Perfect. I'm glad. I'm really glad that that helped. Susie, as far as getting visible for tarot and psychic readings again, for you, I just pulled the 10 of Rods. And now in the earlier deck that I first learned on, this was an old man. This man looks younger, but because it was an old man carrying these sticks, it always seemed to me like it was just like a long, long time of hard work. So even though he's younger, you have worked on this and you're daunted by the work part. So here's what I have for you. Just like I was saying earlier, that I'm getting over this perfection and like, okay, I'm holding my phone with one hand, I'm shuffling the cards with one hand. Do not get yourself visible in the way of, I've got to do a big plan and have a website, and like, you can overthink it and you can create it to be too much work. Don't do that. If you're wanting to get visible in a way that's really easy and fun for you, something simple, if this appeals to you, jumping on Facebook Live, which honestly, all it takes is having the technology, which not everybody has, but if you have a phone that can support this app and that can support getting on here and you can find time in your day, that's a real easy way to get visible and just jump in. So I'm gonna pull, and one more quick card. Yeah, you're thinking about what to do. I've got the 2 of Rods here, like what you've done before, what you could do next. I see that you're really inspired to take action around it, but what's the fear? What's the reason you wouldn't? It's the work. it's the work and it's the effort. So just back to that same answer. That card, sorry, I just pulled the 8 of Pentacles to get a little bit more clarity, and you see this guy is just like hammering away. You are skilled. You know what you're doing. You've got the ability. Just don't do it if it's going to be work for you. Do it in a way that feels good and keep it simple. All right. I hope that helps. I didn't see any response to Susie. I don't know if she's still here, but the other Dawn who's here, your question is, can I have some insight about marriage? Insight about marriage. Okay, that's very general. I'm going to guess that you're wanting to know some insight about your own marriage, but usually, I'm shuffling the cards while I talk to you, usually what's happening in our own marriage is symptomatic of what's happening in marriage in general, because we think that we're all unique snowflakes, and we are, but we are also individual manifestations of our species. And so, and yes, okay, Dawn says yes. And Susie says, thanks, it makes a whole lot of sense. Awesome. Nalini, glad to see you here. If you've got a question, please post it. We have just 5 more minutes, and I may have time to get to your question if you've got one, or anyone else who wants to post a question. Right now, we're getting into Dawn's question about marriage. So I'm just going to offer some insight about marriage for Dawn. I just pulled the Lovers card. All right, so what this tells me, there's two parts of the deck. One is called the Minor Arcana and one is called the Major Arcana. And I'm pretty sure so far in this little call here, every card I pulled has been a minor. This is the first major. The difference is the minors usually have to do with everyday life kinds of things, and the majors have to do more with our spiritual journey overall. Don says, ha, yeah, well, and in this deck, the Lovers, I think this is the sexiest Lovers card in any tarot deck. It's just really more animal, right? I mean, they're even outside and in nature and holding each other and naked, and he's all bearded up and everything. It's just, it's very, very much about the sexual part of what it means to talk about the Lovers. Not all the decks look that way. But one thing about this card is that it's not just about lovers, like in a relationship, a man and a woman, and lovers of course aren't always male and female, or just two, but the idea here is about the energy of, and I've talked in some of these other feeds, between duality and polarity, differences, and the coming together of the differences. It's nice to see you too, Nalini. This is awesome that you're here. The differences and the energy that goes between and around, and connecting and also opposing between these different points. That when we think about sexual energy, there's an attraction, there's a magnetism, there's a charisma, and when you think of magnets, there's also a repellent part. And so that dance, moving toward and moving away from, or combining, or even identity, knowing more of who you are by being in relation with someone who is not you, and being in that intimate of a relationship. All of this is a major part of our journey as humans that at one level manifests in marriage, like in a specific marriage of two people who are day in, day out, learning how to live with somebody who is very different, because we're all very different from each other. And especially in a male-female relationship, there are a lot of gender differences in most cases, where we come to have a better sense of ourself and our own gender by virtue of coming to love and respect the difference in the other that we're with. It's deeply spiritual stuff, but we don't tend to talk about it that way very much in our general culture. I know we've just got a couple more minutes here left. Don says, yes, we are very different. So yeah, so that very difference though is good. A lot of times people look at that difference and they think, well, we must be incompatible because that person's from like another planet. Susie says, marriage so much about learning the art of acceptance of another. Yeah, and not only accepting the other, but we really see ourselves differently by coming to see ourselves through the eyes of the other. I see that Sam's here. Hi, I'm so glad. So we only have one more minute, so I'm not going to take any more questions today. I'm going to do this again on Monday at 10 o'clock. For anyone who wants to come in and have a reading, you can send me your question ahead of time to get at the front of the line, or you can post your question in the feed below. I do want to say one more thing about relationships and in answer to your question, Dawn, because I know you're asking about your relationship. The short answer here is perceive your relationship as part of your spiritual journey. And we could go deeper into that. You're welcome to get a reading from me. Anybody can. You can find me at Tarot Readings by Dr. Rose, and there's a button there to link into my calendar if you want to spend more time with me. And this has been so much fun. I'm going to post on the challenge later on today, probably around 1 o'clock if you want to see me then. And until then, thank you for being here, and I love you. Bye-bye. See you later.